This guy's got the UFC championship. He's compared to Conor McGregor in his prime. He goes on a series of 15 wins, 13 of them by knockout. Opponents are afraid to go to battle with him. He took a hype from Charles Oliveira in between. Today we're talking about Shara Muhammad, nicknamed Shara Bullet. Shara Bullet was born on the 16th of May 1994 in Makhachkala. Since early years, he was engaged in sports. He began with football and wanted to seriously become a footballer, and even managed to play for the national team of Buynaksk. It was here that he spent his childhood. Shara's career ended after a mass fight at one of the matches. Then an unknown teenager came up with the right idea. He ended up with football and began to engage in other sports. For example, he started boxing. Right in his school, he didn't have to go anywhere. After 2 trainings, the coach noticed his potential and offered to participate in the competition immediately. The result was positive. He won a bronze medal, so passed all his school years. He just studied and fought. It was time to move from Dagestan to Moscow to go to college. With this, he successfully coped, and he did not leave fisticuffs. After moving to Moscow, he began to perform at various competitions. As Shara says, no one gave a chance to win. Unfortunately, all the training in Moscow was paid, and he had no money, so he had to constantly change gyms and martial arts. So he started boxing and ended up kickboxing. In 2011, after enrolling in university, he opened a Thai boxing section. Over the next few years, he won the Moscow Championship 3 times, winning the Moscow Cup twice. Master of Sports in Thai boxing. 2-time champion of Moscow in K1, also received the title of Master of Sports in kickboxing. Hearing these results, it's scary to go out with him. After these results, he was invited to participate in the tournament in China, where the prize pool was 1 million yuan. Shara immediately agreed, but the Chinese fighters were too weak for him, and he knocked 3 out. Unfortunately, Shara was unable to collect the prize money. As there was a team competition system, he won all the fights, and his guys none. He didn't want to leave China, so he was involved in everything he was called. After having no rivals in China, he decided to go to Thailand, where he began to train hard. He didn't know where he was going to perform yet, because nobody wanted to fight him. Preparing in Thailand, he saw that in Russia is beginning to gain popularity promotion, Our Business. Long without thinking, he decided to participate, because the winner was given an apartment in the center of Moscow, a good prize. In the first fight, Shara decided to show an arsenal of blows. He threw off kicks and beat the opponent knees. As a result, will be punished. The opponent for a long time could not rise. And if you think that I exaggerate, here's another fight for you. By the way, he was second in this promotion. Just watch the ball. Do either of you have any questions? After 2 solid wins, Shara decided to sign with AMC Fight Nights. In the first fight, he had a very experienced opponent. He went to a series of 3 knockouts, but you just look at how Shara Bullet mocked him. And if you think I only picked the best fights, you're wrong. That's every fight. Bright Fighter from Dagestan demonstrates very spectacular fights. I cannot pass by this moment, just beauty. By the way, remember I said that the promotion Our Business will give the winner an apartment? So this did not happen. The sponsors refused, and he also did not receive the apartment. All that gave him is $27,000. You can talk a lot about fights, maybe the future UFC champion, but the most important question that people have is, does he only see one eye? For those who have not seen, this is what Sharabuddin looks like Undertaker from WWE, but it is really his eye. That's what he says about it. I never understood what caused it, the injury or the load. But I was negligent to the problem, and I turned to the doctors late, continuing to speak and convincing myself that everything would pass. It took a year or a half for treatment. How good is my sight? I see everything clearly with my right eye. It does not interfere with fights. The worst will not happen. From this, it is possible to conclude Shara sees with 2 eyes. One, everything is clear, and the second sees everything vaguely, but it does not bother him. he is accustomed. Unfortunately, this problem cannot be solved yet, which is a very big disadvantage for him, but it does not stop anyone, because in late 2022 the UFC signed a contract with him. According to Shara Bullet, he did not really want to sign a contract with the UFC. He tried to find other options where it is possible to pay more, but the UFC did not like it. They wanted to get the fighter, so they offered very good money for his performance with them. They offered more than $100,000 just to go to the fight. "It's no prize for winning," Shara answered, after which I immediately agreed. The Shara story took the hype from Oliveira. He was walking through the Dubai Mall and saw a crowd outside the store, and it turned out Charles Oliveira was there. Shara decided to stop by and asked him to do a two-face with the same organization fighting, which all people thought was going to be a real fight, and everybody started making noise. After leaving the store, everyone began to take pictures with Shara, and Oliveira was forgotten, as before they had never seen the Dagestan fighter. Shara Bullet doesn't come from a rich family. He's just a guy who believes in himself and works hard. When he didn't have training, he was taking copper and aluminum, pasting leaflets, and now he's one of UFC's most important discoveries. No one knows how his career will develop and what results he will achieve, but he has already established himself as a very hard-working and purposeful person. His example shows that if you believe in yourself and work hard, everything will work out. Everyone who liked the content, write comments like you about whom to make the next release, and you can support our channel by telling friends about us, or by prompting us by the link in the description. We'll see you soon.